college was, for me, I went to Virginia Tech, and my freshman year when I came into college,
I want to interrupt you. When
Yeah.
you went to college, what did you think you were going to do after college?
Well, I was going into college as an architecture major, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought that if I would go to college, life would present itself to me, which it did, just not in the way that I thought. And so, as an architecture major, I realized very quickly that it was a 5-year program, and my dad said that he would pay for 4 years of school. So I immediately hopped out of the architecture program and went to undeclared, basically. So I was undeclared for 2 years, and I was like, I'll figure it out in these 2 years. I liked art. I also like communication, so I eventually did a comm minor, and I ended up majoring in graphic design, which was the kind of the front end of people using computers to design stuff. So when I was there, I didn't want to enter into the stereotypical party scene of college, so I immediately got involved in crew and in navigators as well, because I thought I was a Christian because I believed in God and I went to church on Sundays. That's why I thought I was a believer. So realized very quickly in my time with both crew and navs that I had never actually made a decision to accept Christ into my life. I had never actually answered the call of the Holy Spirit. And so through a series of some times in Bible study and some conversations that I had, January of my freshman year, the gospel was presented from up front during a crew meeting, and I recognized in that moment my need for Jesus. And I had thought, I'd done so much already. I've studied the Bible so much already. I've been doing all these Christian things for so long, a semester. I can't go back to the beginning again because it's embarrassing. And then the Holy Spirit was like, that's pride. That's what that is. And so after the meeting, the worship band came up and started playing. I left the meeting room, went down the hall to the men's public restroom, and I had a little old school, do you remember the 4 spiritual laws, Bill Bright? I had one of those in my wallet because that's what Christians did. But I pulled it out of my wallet and I flipped to the back where there was a prayer, and I prayed that prayer, and I said, God, I want you to come into my life and forgive me my sin and make me the kind of person you want me to be. Which, in a public men's restroom, it's not sexy, but it's, I think, a good picture of where God chooses to meet us, because there's nothing dirtier than a public men's room. But God plucked me out of my filth and brought me into a relationship with him then. So, that was January of my freshman year. I got really involved with crew. After that, started sharing my faith. About 2 months after I became a Christian, I went on an evangelism conference at spring break, where I went down to Panama City Beach and was trained on how to communicate my faith. And then during the afternoons, I would go out onto the beach with all the crew students and share the gospel with drunk, partying college students down at spring break. So that was formative for me. And then I went on a summer mission with crew that summer after my freshman year, which is basically like a spiritual boot camp. You get lots of training, lots of being poured into, lots of investing in the spiritual, and that transformed my life and kind of set me on a trajectory where by the time I reached my junior year, I was like, I think I want to come on staff with crew, because Bill Bright's whole thing back in the 50s was, if you reach the college campus today, you reach the world tomorrow. And that resonated and reverberated through the decades, to the point when I was in college in the 90s, I was like, that's still true. I want to reach the college campus because the leaders of tomorrow are on the campus today. And so that's why I came on staff. That coupled with Matthew 9 of the harvest is plentiful, the laborers are few. I said, like, Jesus, I'll do anything you want me to do. You rescued me. I owe you my life. I am yours. I am a bond servant to you, and I'll do whatever you want me to do. So I came on staff.
So how many years have you been with crew?
I came on staff summer of 99, so 22 years, a little over 22 years.